Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. It is a little warm today, but we've had some cool weather, so it's not too terribly bad. This video is probably taking about 2 weeks to put together with weather and hurricanes and dealing with shipping issues. So it's taking a minute to put it together, but we're going to start on the Gantry Crane. We're going to get it put together and see if we can get the head on the Bridgeport. So that's the plan. I'm gonna try to do it as low budget as I can. I know I'm gonna have to buy the winch. We're gonna get a 110, like 1 ton electric winch that we can put on the trolley and go back and forth on it. And so that I'm gonna have to buy that. I'm gonna see what other scrap metal I've got around here that we can make it out of, so that I don't have to go buy a bunch of stuff. So let me go look for what we've got, and then I'll bring you back and we'll get started. Okay, so I've scoured the shop and we've located most of the materials we needed. The I-beam here is 6x6 I-beam. It is 3/16 wall. Those are 5 foot long, and I've got 2 of those. The pipe is quarter wall, 2.5 inch, and they're 6 foot long. I had a 12-foot piece and I cut it in half. The 4x4 tubing here is, that's 3/16 wall. This is quarter wall, 3-inch square tubing, and that will just fit inside those to slide up and down. And then we've got the casters. I've got a couple of different kinds we're going to look at to see which ones work best. And then, of course, we got tubing to do bracing with. The only thing I had to buy is this piece of I-beam right here. So this is 9 foot long. I only needed 7 feet, but it was cheaper to go on and buy the 9-foot piece than it was to have them cut it down. So I'll take the other piece and hold on to it for another job. Okay, so we've got our 4x4s cut, we've got our pipes cut. We're gonna make this adjustable so it slides up and down. You can see, I hope you can see it anyway, where I've marked every 6 inches. We've marked our center line, and the way I did that was, this is 2.5 inch pipe. I used a 1.25 inch spacer, ran it along the side with my marker on it, and that gave me my mark. So I've drilled the 4x4, and that's drilled all the way through. I don't know if you can see it up under there or not. And so now I'm using the 4x4 as a drill guide, sliding the pipe in until I can see the starter hole mark inside. You can see it right there. And then we drill. The other thing we're making sure of is that this piece stays level, because as long as it's level, the holes will go in straight and they'll line up every time. So we've got our upper I-beam in place. We've got our posts. I went on and bolted in the cylindrical bar inside the square bar. That way that square bar is flat and flush to the ground. That'll keep that in line where it needs to, so the bolts will work. And then we're using the Fireball square, excuse me, I can't talk today, Fireball square to square up the I-beam and the cylindrical post. So we're gonna weld those up, and then we'll be really close. We'll end up making some gussets to go in there to help support that. And we'll weld the bigger I-beams on the end and do some gusseting there. So not too far away from being finished. Okay, y'all. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing through this, but you can see the 6x6 beams. We've got the verticals welded to it. We've welded solid up there to the I-beam. Come on across. Sorry about the glare. Same thing here. Now I'm working by myself, so I used my shear as a dead man weight over here. You can see I used my Fireball spacers to keep the spacing right, so that this is absolutely vertical this way and this way. And then we clamped in the squares on each side down there. I'm sorry, I clamped in the big square, the monster square here, to keep this in line, and then I put a T-square here to make sure that this face is in line with this. So everything's squared up. That side's welded in. This side's welded in. Next step's gonna be weld some cross bracing up here to keep it from shifting side to side. And then we'll come down here and we'll weld braces from here down to the I-beam on each side. There she is, y'all. So as you can see, we got the wheels on it, the casters. Now the ones on that end are swiveled. These are not. I'm gonna swap these out with some swivels that lock in 4 different positions. But for right now, that's what I had, so that's what we used. Let's see. So we've got 2 by 2, I'm sorry, 1.5 by 1.5 square tubing as the diagonal braces. And then up here, we were gonna do a trolley that ran through that, but the casters were 1/4 inch too big. I don't know how I mismeasured, but I did. So for right now, we just made some brackets to bolt through and bolted it hard to the winch hard to the I-beam. We'll go back later and get a trolley that actually fits so we can move it back and forth. But as you can see, we've got adjustability in it, and it comes all the way down to about here. So there's every 6 inches there's an adjustability spot in it. So Works pretty good. It's heavy, but one person can move it around without any problem once it's put together. So it'll do what I need to. So let's see what happens. Y'all can see we've got the head on the mill now, or on the frame. So we've got the arm painted. I've still got the post, the knee, the control box, everything else to paint, but this will at least let us get it hooked up. We've wired the motor up. I don't know if you can see or not. There's a sheared bolt right there. And there's another one right there that they sheared off completely. And then that rotor right there, that little fan is a plastic fan. It's got a couple of cracks in it. So I've got to call the people about that and see if they can get me a new part to put on the motor. As of right now, we've wired the motor to the head, or to the mill, so we've got that going, but we've still got some other stuff to do. I've got, excuse the mess, but we've got to get this set of wires run through the box. There's holes right there that we'll run it through, but we've also got this harness right here to get in. And whoop, let me get this out of the way. And it wires in down there on that bus. So let's try to get that done, see if we can get power to this thing. Well, we've got everything wired up. These are the wires for the power feed. The ground's there. And then those 4 wires right there. And then that long harness, we got it wired in. So the last thing that I want to do is some of this is paint chips, but there's also metal shavings in here. So I want to vacuum all that out. Sorry, moving a little quick. I want to vacuum all that out so that I don't have any problems there. So that'll be the next thing we do. Okay. Well, as y'all can see, the head's on. I've gotten power to it. We've got it all wired up. And good news, bad news, kind of. The coil works. It's absolutely perfect. It's got no vibration or rattle or bearing noise. So the motor was not damaged. That's great. I've got the 2 screws that I have to drill out and try to remove and replace. And then, like I said, the crack on the little plastic fan, I got to see if that's detrimental or if I can get another, fan for that. But overall, the motor's in good shape. The quill, I can operate it without any problem manually. That's great. The quill feed motor, the power feed motor, is leaking oil out of where the gearbox and the motor come together. That was where it was laying. The blocks had gotten knocked out of it, and it was laying on that motor. So that's one problem. And then the power feed on the quill is not working. I'm getting power to the control box, and it's showing power going in and out, but I've got no power feed on the quill. So that's frustrating. I can still use the mill. It's still serviceable. I just don't have the power feed, which is one of the big reasons we bought this mill. So hopefully it's something simple. I've contacted the company that repaired it for me. In the time it's taken to get all of this done, I went back. The power feed on the table works great. It's XY axis, all of that works perfectly. There's no problems there. We've developed a problem with the Z axis, the knee. And so now the power table doesn't go up and down like it's supposed to. The power quill doesn't go up and down like it's supposed to. I can hear the motor running. I can feel the vibration, but when you engage it, nothing happens. I'm afraid that maybe there's a stripped gear or a broken keyway or something in there. So now when I thought I was at the end of having this thing just about ready to go, now I've got to dig into the knee and try to figure that out. So, like I said, it's good and bad. It's just, I'm struggling, y'all. The struggle bus is real, and was really hoping that this project would be done and I could go on and move to other things. I've got a list as long as my arm of stuff I've got to get done before the end of the year, and I'm making no progress. So it is what it is. Lord willing, we'll get it worked out. Hope y'all are having a good day. Hope everything's going well. Pray for those that have been affected by hurricanes and lost their houses. We've been out kind of doing some stuff, trying to get stuff together to take to the different drop-off points and things. So pray for them. Thank y'all for the new subscribers and old subscribers. I appreciate y'all. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.